This is the video for introducing our new mixer, especially the software that is the CQ MixPad. The mixer is made by Allen and Heath. It's CQ20B. And when you log on to the software, you'll find this page. And of course, there's a password, and only 2 instances of this software can run at a single time. And hopefully they'll fix that in the firmware update. But right now, this is what it is, and we'll have to work with it. And so when you connect it, you will come to the home page where there's info, but actually you can go to the fader page, and that's where all the work is done. But because I'm introducing this video, when you come to the home page, actually there are a lot of tabs: configuration, processing, fader, effects, and homepage. And you come to homepage, in the info, under the info, you have all the things pertaining to this mixer, and you can copy that and share that with anyone if they need to, or if you want to. I don't know why anyone will need that anyway, but in storage you have the USB and the SD card. And because I have both right now, and as I'm testing this mixer out, I just opened the package maybe 3 days ago, and I had this software for the best of 2 days, I think. Yeah. So this is what I've done with it, and I thought I'd share what I know and what I've learned. And again, yeah, when you put a new USB, you've got to format it. And same thing with the SD card, you got to format it. And once it's formatted, you can do whatever you want with it, in the sense, record multi-track or stereo or share files. And I'll be going through that. And then you have the firmware tab. Since it's already on the latest firmware available at the time of recording, which is January 21st of 2026. The current firmware version is 1.2.2. If that means anything to you, then good, because I don't know what it means, except I want a better firmware with more instances. Hallelujah. Anyway, so then here are the colors for the meters. Basically, if, you can make it glow purple if you want to, after it goes beyond 12 decibels, and I don't know. I mean, I just leave it at the default setting. And then you have preferences, where you have these options, and I've left the unit name as such, meaning as I got it. And yeah, I've not messed with this at all. And so that is the home group and under system. Yeah. So info, storage, firmware, meters, preferences. So you have all this send to and all that main left, right. I'll get to that. And then you have a replication of what is known as the soft button or soft keys. Exactly, I don't remember. But basically these are shortcuts to functions that we can set. But this is the tab from which you have all these preferences. These preferences, meaning what I just shared. From here, I'll go to the config tab. Before that, I'll just show you. When you click the on-off a button here. You have help and log out. Help loads another HTML page on your browser. Log out is basically you log out of this completely, but that is not shut down. In config or configuration, you have the inputs. So I've set it up as we need it. And in each input, like for example, mine, you have, you can assign the color, you can assign all these things. So I have not set the gain at all because we have not done a mic check or a sound check. But basically, this is the deal. And you have phantom power, but if you push it and keep it hold on to that thing, then yes, then you get power, phantom power. But I don't want phantom power on a wireless microphone. But you have phantom power on these two mics, which are basically ambience mics that picks up what the audience says, but it goes straight to a live stream. And also I'm recording that, but this won't come out through the main PA speakers or through the stage monitors. But basically, yes. And then you have input that is 1/4 inch for the keyboard and for drums, SPD30. So anyway, so yeah, so these are the inputs, and basically the microphone input you have 16 inputs and plus the combo jacks here. So anyway, these are the inputs, and the outputs are basically you have out 1 to out 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out 1 is what we use for the stage monitor, and out 6 and out 5 are linked together. As you can see, there's a stereo link, and that is what we use to put in what we need for the live stream. And this then is routed to alt out. So anyway, when you I'll go get to that. So stage 1, you have, for example, what do you want? You want a parametric EQ or FPA or GEQ, graphic EQ. What these are after everything. What you do with the signal before it goes on to these monitor. Yeah. Anyway, where do you want to tap into it? That is the output source point. Post EQ, post compressor. I chose post compressor. It was post EQ as a default. And input sound levels, pre-fader or post-fader. So I kept it to pre-fader because I don't want it to being affected by the main mix. Yeah. So anyway, I hope making it clear. And then we have a library of whatever we store in that. Like this function, this library function is there in almost every page. Yeah. That you can store the presets that you want. So what I wanted to show you was if you look at the main left and right, you have a little less options, but there are more options there. And you go to alt out, you get to choose what you want in the alt out. So I've chosen live left because I've assigned this as live left, and live right. And because I've assigned this as live right. So that is what comes out of the aux or alt out. Yeah. So anyway, you can assign anything you want in this thing. So yeah. And here you come to the USB SD options. So again, you have the source point. I kept it at post preamp because I want all the recordings to be unadulterated with all the from all the mixes and all that. But you can set it any way you want it to. And yeah, so I kept it at 48 kilohertz because I want to record all 24 tracks. But I think we don't record even, maybe 20 tracks at most. But if you keep it at 96 kilohertz, which is a better quality, well, I think you can have only 16 or 18 tracks. I'm not sure. Anyway, so the stream mode has to do with USB-B. That is when you plug it into a computer. Do you want stereo or you want multi-track? You would want stereo for two reasons. Well, one is if you want to record it stereo, and second, if you're connecting to something like OBS, it takes only the first two tracks. So it's better to have stereo as the first two tracks so you get the whole thing, unless you want specifically to assign first two tracks for something that you want to live stream through OBS. Yeah, sure, but that's up to you. Again, so channel assignment, this has got to do with the multi-track recording. So what are you going to do with 17 and 18 channels? So I've assigned keyboard to that. 19, 20 that I've assigned our drums, that's SPD 20. 30, I'm sorry, not 20, SPD 30. And for 21 and 22, I've assigned what we stream live, just for me to have a recording of that. And 23 and 24, obviously, those tracks are the main tracks, yeah. And then you have the Bluetooth, and this is me on my phone, and I don't know who TV PC 127 is because it came with that. So I don't know. Maybe I don't think the mixer was used by anyone, but it was there. Anyway. So then you have, after that, the next tab is the automatic mic mixer. What that is, everyone in the industry seems to know what AMM is. I had to look it up basically. But before I did that, it said automatic mixer. I knew what it was, but I didn't know what AMM was. Yeah. So basically, we are not using it, but you have in and out. Means what's basically if you have 6 people sitting on stage, and this will run the up and down of the volume based on who's talking. So if I'm talking, it'll cut the volume of the other people. And if Anu is talking, then he'll cut the volume of other people, including me. So this is something like that, like ducking. But yeah, and so you have an option if you want to study more about it. Since I don't use it at all, so I have not studied much about it, but I know basically what it does. Yeah. So then you have another tab called Control and Network. This is, and there's a lot in this. So these are the soft controls. Remember, I was talking about 1, 2, and 3. So first, you can put a foot switch to it. I'm ordering a Boss FB6, I believe. Yeah. So that has an option for it to be latching and non-latching. Basically, we need non-latching. We need the switch to be momentary. Latching is like when you have it clicked, it'll stay clicked or until you unclick it. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it further. But basically, you can assign what you want with it. And so I've assigned mute, that is the effects, or just the effects. That one is not assigned yet, the ring. So you have the tip ring and sleeve, and so anyway. Yeah, so when I get that, and First of all, I had to purchase that, but after that, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and then you have the soft keys. This is they're in the CQ18D, I believe. Yeah, that has a screen and a physical soft keys, but we have spiritual soft keys, not spiritual, but virtual. Yes. So again, you can assign what they are. So I've assigned the first one to mute the effects. So when you click that, all the effects will be muted, and that's useful for when somebody on stage is talking, who has echo and reverb in his microphone or her microphone or whatever. When you mute it, the singers can say something. And so later, I plan to give that assignment of this to those people. They individually, they can do that. I hope they can do that in other software, but anyway, we'll see. All that is in the future. But anyway, this is soft key number 1. Soft key number 2 is for me. So that it's a multi-track play and record. That is, when I hit it once, it'll record. When I hit it again, it'll stop. Yeah. So 3 is basically the panic button. So if it starts howling and, causes all kind of ruckus, then you hit this and it'll mute everything. So that is set as a group to mute everything. Yes. So that then leads us to the mute groups. That is all. When you say all, that is like, same all. Yeah. All. That is what goes out to the stage and what goes out to the main left and right. So what goes to the live stream doesn't actually howl, so it doesn't have any kind of monitoring in there. So it doesn't cause any feedback. So second mute group is the singer. Coincidentally, you can't make it singers because this is all the characters that they gave us permission for. So you have the 3 singers, Rachel, Coco, and Steve. It's the same thing with Coco. I tried to put Rebecca, but the A was missing. And so it sounded funny with the name being Rebecca. So, yeah. Anyway. So I asked her how to spell a nickname, and this is what she gave. So singer, these are the singers, and these are the instruments. So you have the guitar, acoustic guitar, and geoshrek, keys, drums, and the cajon, and So, and this is the effects mute. Everything to the effects is muted. I'm sure there are other ways to do that, but I just kept it as such. Anyway, these are the mute groups. These are DCAs. Basically, when you assign this to one group, all the faders will get affected by one fader. So you have the choir, that is the singers, and you have the instruments, and these 2 are not assigned. Then you have the custom layers, and this again is is important for us to understand, because under the fader, when you don't have custom, you have 8 faders. Yeah. So because the saints basically congregation and the ambient mic and left and right are linked together, so they show only once. So in that 8, you have an option to make it custom. So 8, so 1 to 8, 9 to 16, and then 16 to whatever. These are the effects, and you get the idea. And so anyway, where were we? Yeah, under processing, configuration. Yeah, the custom layer. Yes. So So the first custom layer, first thing are the mics. So yeah, you can assign whatever you want to that. So you have this. And the second are the instruments. And you have this. And the last three for the mics and the instrument, I kept it as stage 1, live, and main, left and right. For the main, that is the third option, mine and Anu's are straightforward, but this is DCA. That means it gets all three when you go through choir, and it gets affected. And all the instruments get affected. Plus you have Bluetooth, and then again stage 1, live and main, and left and right. Miscellaneous basically change, such as the ambience mic, and then you have the USB input, which I don't think we'll ever use, but it's for feeding stuff onto the mixer from the USB. But anyway, it's there. I just kept it there again. Yeah. So we don't use as much, but anyway, it's there. So, and then you have the network. Right now to work on all this, I use the built-in Wi-Fi in the mixer, and so that has security. It demanded that I put in a password, so I did. Then later I understood that okay, I don't need to put in a password, so that makes me, wonder. Obviously, this mixer has been used by someone, but how much of it? I don't think it was a used product, but probably to set up certain things. So anyway, because there was an option to just have it without security open, but it asked me to set a password, which I did, and so you have the frequency that is 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. So because this is quite nearby and I'm testing, I kept it on 2.4. But otherwise you can go to 5, but only in this access point. Yeah. So if you're going to the Ethernet, it all depends on the modem that you used for that Ethernet. Yeah. So the channel is auto, and SSID visibility. I made it visible so anybody can see it. But given that only 2 can log in at once, it doesn't make much of a difference. It's not like our old mixer in Behringer. I think 5 can log in, and I believe that in Soundcraft mixers anybody can log in. Yeah. Because it's a website, yeah, so it's I don't know. So, but here, since only 2 are there, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. And SSID name is a name of what shows up on your Wi-Fi as a Wi-Fi. Anyway, so that is network. So I think we are done with the config page. Yes. Yeah. So inputs, outputs, control network. Yes. Okay. So now we go to processing. Now these are the processing for individual channels. That's all you have to understand. Meaning processing, meaning we're adding delay, echo, and whatnot. So you take me, and then you find, okay, I have put it in the easy section of it, where I said, okay, I want everything geared for it being a lectern. That means I'm not going to sing, I'm going to speak, and so all this is set for that. Since I'm not doing it live, I don't have a microphone connected. I'm just guessing. And so I just put the presets on. We'll do a sound check maybe the after tomorrow, and then we'll see how it. And this has also a sense. So how much of that is going to go on to, stage one, the outputs that we have and all that. But like I said, I'll set this up when we do a sound check. But like for example, for the singers, I have it on choir, and and I don't have it activated at all for the my microphone. I might do that for this because that's why I kept it as a EQ because easy EQ because I don't want much of the lows in the ambience. So anyway, we'll see step by step. And so, like for example, in the input for the guitar, for the main guitar, the electric, I put it as clean because I didn't want anything affecting the EQ on that. But whoever plays can change that for the acoustic guitar. Incidentally, guitar left, guitar right, they're linked. Acoustic guitar is single. So, and GeoShred is me. I've put as a contour. Anyway, like that, you can do a lot of settings in this. And same thing, I mean, when it comes to, yeah. Let's go to custom, then you can, so for the outputs, you have the parametric EQ, and then you have the feedback assistant. That is, if something is feeding or something is howling, then you turn this on, so anyway, and then you have the compressor, and then you have the limiter. And if you notice, it's all the limiting and the compressing is all different in each one. So anyway, so even the parametric EQ, I'll just use it as a high shelf and a lower shelf. Meaning I love the, mid frequencies to pass through, but I'm cutting off all the low and high when it feeding into the effects. So anyway, so now we come to the fader page, and the fader page is the fader page. So this is where we do the actual mixing, and this is where we'll be most of the time. So anyway, so like that, like I said, you have these three buttons that are shortcuts, and so you have the individual mute, but you have a lot of options. Basically, you have to set that up and then you have the effects. You have 4 racks, meaning 4 different types of units, and each unit, when you go into in the library, you have this many settings. If you mess with something, you can store it as a new, and then it'll come under user setting. So, these are the settings that I'm using. So anyway, and you have the sense too. Basically, that's got to do with what you're sending to. Nothing to do with the EQ. I believe it has to do with the main sense. But here, like for example, if you want the echo verb to go to the monitor on stage, then you increase this, up and down like this. So, and then you have, I've not set anything up like that. And then you have home. Yeah, that we have already reached home. Yeah, so this is it, and I'm getting a little tired, and that's why, yeah. I sound tired, yeah, but that's because it's what, midnight right now while I'm making this recording. Here you have basically, if your Wi-Fi is on, you get your Wi-Fi logo, signal, whatever. I forget what this is called. Yeah. Anyway, and then same thing with Bluetooth. It'll be activated, and you have the USB and the SD card. They're both plugged in, so you have that. Yeah. And like I said, there's a library of user settings and this is vast. Yeah, I mean, you can look into that, and so this is what it is. And like I said, only 2 users can use it at the same time. Yeah, if you click help, you'll go on and you go to log out, and then ask yes. So you have something else called My CQ or something like that, where you have your individual volumes. So if you're on stage, that is, if it's set on aux 1 through 6, so yeah, like, you got to configure it that way. Anyway, this is it. This is the preliminary teaching of this, how to use this mixer. If once you get a hang of it, you will find that there are a lot more options. In some areas, maybe the options are more limited than the old Behringer we used to use. So anyway, yeah. But this is a good mix, and I believe that this is indeed a step up from what we used to use. So, have a blessed time. Praise the Lord. I just realized that I didn't cover the whole thing. I missed out on the tab above the info. When you go home, that is when you have the shutdown. Now, if you shut down, you'll have to physically restart. That means you'll have to turn the mixer on and off again, or unplug it and replug it, and for it to turn back on. But you need to shut down after every usage. And this is where you have the volume control for the headphones. And yeah, basically when you go to quick starts, these are all presets, which obviously I don't use. And when you come to record, when you have if you're recording stereo, that these are the options that you have. So anyway, and so, and you have a lot of options with set. And then you have, when you go to multi-track, like I said, I haven't activated 3 or maybe 3 or 4. 4. So total is 20 tracks that are armed. So that's why I kept it in 48. Otherwise, I could have kept it in 96 if I had only 18 or something like that. But you can do with 18, but some of the things may not be included like the main left and right and the live left and right and all that. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I'm just figuring things out as I go along. And the scenes, this is the thing where I've saved all my work, everything that I've done on the TCL January 2026 or January 26, basically. And, you have recall. That means you call this out and you activate this. You overwrite. That means whatever you've done, you put it back and store it into this. Or if you have something new, then you can store as new. Or you can rename that. Yep. So, and if you want to delete that, then you can delete that. So there were a lot of options before. Some were not even populated, like 27, 30, even 3 was not populated. So I moved them. Like the first 2 that I found, that was on boot CQ20B, and these outputs and all these were here, and I've just moved them down, which makes me think that, that this has been used before, but obviously not by people who or users, but I don't know. I don't know why all this is populated, but it doesn't look like something that anybody would use. It's just there. Maybe it's part of the, I don't know, software that came along with this. Yeah. Then you have the data. You can save that, whatever you save, but then not everything is saved, like the network settings and all that, and the name of the particular unit you're using, it's not saved. Anyway, if you go through the user manual, it's all there, yeah. But again, same functions. If you save that and overwrite that, you'll have that. And now you go to the libraries. This is what I was talking about. I just saved Cajon because it was there, but you can, there are shows and there are libraries, and you can save anything you want. Yeah, but this is all there. It was all there before. I don't even know what that is. Yeah. So anyway, so then after that you have the system. This is what I was talking about. I forgot to go into the home, record, and scenes and data and system. Anyway, if there's anything that I've left out, just ask me. If I know, I'll tell you. If not, I'll lead you to where you can find the answers. And everything that I found out is from YouTube and also by using the, I believe it's ChatGPT, yeah. Certain things I do not know. I asked it and it gave me the answer. So, it works. So, like I didn't know, like how, for example, how to do, I don't know, I don't remember now, how to do certain things. So I asked, how do you do that? And then said, this is how you do it. And then I tried that and it works. Anyway, so I'm going to log out one more time and okay, log out. That's it. Hi, I forgot one more thing. That is to show you the screen when we shut down. So hopefully it'll record. And so when you click shut down, say shut down the mixer and continue. You click yes. And the mixer is shutting down. It is now safe to turn off your mixer. So the mixer is off and you click disconnect. Then the mixer is physically off. So you got to turn the power off and on again for it to work. That's all from me. Hallelujah.